Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Inside Track, Equibase's weekly handicapping podcast, where we give our analysis, picks, and wagers for a couple of the weekend's top races. I'm your host, Ben Kudla, and this is our 50th episode. I just want to sincerely thank everyone out there who watches and listens to the show. It means the world to me, and here's to 50 more. So for our 50th episode, I thought it was only fitting to welcome back a star on the Inside Track, an Ellis Starr, if you will, Equibase's national racing analyst, sporting some sweet number 50 glasses. Ellis writes blogs and articles for Keeneland, Santa Anita, AM Wager, ABR, Pollock Report, and more. Check out his picks and follow him on X at Uber Capper. So thank you for being on the 50th episode, Ellis.
You're welcome. If I was getting paid for this, I'd ask for double for wearing these really weird glasses, which also pushes my head
love
up.
them. You're cute as a button right now. Yeah, I know.
Can't wait to take them off in another second.
Well, you look great.
You wanted to celebrate 50th show, so I went with it. But
I did. 50 is cool. I can't believe we've been doing this over a year now. It's crazy. But anyway, I digress. So it was quite the amazing weekend of racing up there in the Northeast. Scottish Lassie dominated the Grade 1 CCA Oaks by 15.5 lengths. Bookham Dano earned a 115 Equibase speed figure for his win. And that Grade 2 Alfred G. Vanderbilt Handicap. Monmouth had 6 stakes on their card, with Chad Brown having a 4-win day. Some amazing performances by redistricting under a perfectly timed ride by Flavian Pratt in the Grade 2 United Nations. Surface to Air gave Cinephias his first career graded stakes victory as a trainer. And then just journalism swallowed them up, powering home to win the Grade 1 Haskell Stakes and become the first horse with 3 Grade 1 wins this year. I think we definitely got to watch this replay. Let me see if I can share my screen. But overall, what were your thoughts on this Haskell, Ellis?
Well, first of all, somebody said poor Gosker, and Gosker's just not that good. And I said, look, I think Gosker's going to win any race that sovereignty and journalism aren't in. You know, that's all I can say. And maybe
Gosker is the shame to journalism, and journalism is the shame to sovereignty.
And Baeza too. Boy, if Gosker and Baeza showed up in a race, I don't know. That would be a pretty good race, because as long as sovereignty and journalism are there. But this was a great race. Let's go ahead and run it.
Yeah, let's run it. So at this point, Kentucky Outlaws kind of giving way a little bit. Yeah. What a cool story by Felisa Dunn, but we can talk that at a different time.
Yeah, no, she goes back to non-graded stakes. She'll be just fine. But Gosker's just being ridden marvelously here, and journalism he wants to win. Perfect example of an alpha horse.
Yeah.
In other words, just this point at which he lengthens his stride right here.
Yep.
After he goes to the left, after Rispoli goes to the right hand. And then he does it again. I think he gave him a couple taps too many. He really didn't need to do that, and he got a $6,000 fine because of the extra one. But once the horse is in high gear, but he's excited. He wants to win the race. I can see that as well. But it's good. It's nice. It sets it up. I hope he stays healthy. Hope we see a great effort by Sovereignty. And thinking about the Breeders' Cup Classic, and we still have a couple of 3-year-olds that are still coming back. Now I can't remember the horse's name. The Tip Top Thomas, who won, I know that, the Indiana Derby, and the horse that won the Iowa Derby,
Magnitude.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Magnitude. So it's it's a great 3-year-old crop. Some late bloomers.
Yeah, it really is.
Some of them been all year.
Yeah, I don't know. That Haskell was just so cool to watch. I mean, when journalism has a target, he just really can't lose. Honestly, I think that should be his next tactic when he runs against Sovereignty is make Sovereignty go first. Just my 2 cents.
Just not be further behind.
Yeah,
when the real running starts. That's what happened in the Derby. I mean, the Derby, that's what happened. It's Sovereignty, got going, and journalism was behind him, but it was too late because Sovereignty already was full speed ahead, and journalism was trying, and he got the lead, but Sovereignty was just a little better.
Well, I'm so excited for their next matchup whenever that day will come. But we have a fantastic lineup for our 50th episode. Ellis and I will be giving our analysis and picks for the Grade 2 Jim Dandy Stakes with the return of Sovereignty, like you said, at Saratoga, the Breeders' Cup winning you're in Grade 1 Bing Crosby Stakes, and the Grade 2 San Diego Handicap out there at Del Mar. But before we begin, the Race to the NHC, a series of free handicapping contests for active Raceland subscribers, continues this Saturday on horseplayers.com. The top 2 finishers in each of the weekly contests will make it to the final 50, or Raceland's final 50 contest in February. The top 2 finishers in that contest will earn a seat to NHC 2026, along with a travel voucher and 4-night stay at Horseshoe Casino in Las Vegas. And now is the perfect time to become an active Raceland subscriber if you are not already. Now through August 1st, that's coming up quick. You get an annual Raceland subscription for just $699, normally $999, with code RLA699S at checkout. There it is on the bottom of your screen, RLA699S. All right, let me see if I can pull up a little Raceland's action for you. We're going to be using that to handicap today. All right. Let's just dive right in. This Grade 2 Jim Dandy Stakes Race 10 on Saturday's card at the Spa with a post time of 5:41 p.m. Eastern, mile and 1/8 on the dirt for 3-year-olds. Some legendary horses have won this race in their 3-year-old campaign. Medaglia d'Oro in 2002, Bernardini 2006, Street Sense 2007, a lot of Godolphins. Macho again in 2008, Stay Thirsty in 2011, Palace Malice in 2013. The list goes on, but last year's winner was Fiercest for trainer Todd Pletcher's 8th career Jim Dandy win. Fiercest went on to beat Torpedo Anna in the Travers Stakes and then ran second to Sierra Leone in the Breeders' Cup Classic last year. But we've got a small but mighty field of 5 on Saturday, including Kentucky Derby and Belmont Stakes winner Sovereignty. Ellis, is there any way the Sovereignty can be beaten here?
Oh, there's always a way a horse can be beat, Ben. There's really no sure thing. He is a tremendous horse. He's got that big stride. He's got his cues. Junior Alvarado rides himself phenomenally well. Alvarado's been up for his last 4 wins. But there is a possibility here of a steal. And if you look at this true odds grid, which you have up, the grid that says running style, there's only one E for early. The rest are all sustained. They're all closers. We know Baeza, 14th in the Derby, 15th after a half mile. Sovereignty, 16th in Derby. He was closer up in the Belmont over the track at Saratoga, 1.25 miles. Sandman been running 9th, 18th, 7th, 8th, 9th after a half mile. And Hill Road, 7th, 7th, 6th. I mean, Manny Franco is going to have an easy lead here on Moplex. And the question is whether he's good enough to win. He's in New York bred. He's 5 for 8. He's never been off the board. He won the Ohio Derby at this 9 furlong trip last time out. It was a good race. He won the Bayshore at 7 furlongs before that. And so the question is, how much of an easy early lead does he get? And is it enough to have Sovereignty come up just a little bit short? They're almost equal weights, 124, 122. Look, I think Sovereignty is going to win, but I will not hesitate to make a win bet on Moplex anywhere near his 10-to-1 morning line and then play an exactive Sovereignty over Moplex, because if he tires for second unless something really crazy happens. It's just his speed advantage. The only reason you like him, he's done nothing wrong. You can see there his last 2 Equibase speed figures are the only 2 that are over 100. So as a 3-year-old, you expect him to be improving, and that's what he's doing. Sovereignty's 103 and 106 are still higher than Moplex's 101 and 100, but Moplex is still an improving 3-year-old like Sovereignty. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not necessarily picking Moplex to win. It looks like it. I'm going to bet him to win, and I'm going to play exactive Sovereignty over Moplex, and that's all I'm going to do in the Jim Dandy.
Well, Ellis, great minds do think alike, because I was thinking a Moplex and Sovereignty or exacta as well. I hate picking favorites. And of course there's always crazy things can happen in a race, but if this race is run any sort of normal way, it's just going to be Sovereignty. I mean, even from the get-go, they knew this horse was special. Going back to the beginning of his career, I didn't want to wait around in a maiden special weight. Broke his maiden by 5 lengths at the Grade 3 Street Sense Stakes at the end of last October at Churchill. Goes on to win that Grade 2 Fountain View Stakes, closing like a train on that short Gulfstream stretch in March. Runs second in the Florida Derby. He didn't really need that race, but he still finished second. Comes 151st Kentucky Derby winner, again closing like a train, beating Journalism by Aza. Takes that controversial layoff to skip the Preakness for no other reason than besides doing right by the horse. Now, under some fresh legs, he edges clear to win that Grade 1 Belmont over Journalism, who really no one else can beat, as we saw in that Haskell last weekend. Fresh as can be going into this race and training well at Saratoga after the Belmont. He's never been in a field this short before as well, which is kind of interesting. They have a plan with this horse. They're really sticking to it. I think it's just all Journalism. But your Moplex, like you said, just an interesting horse, and you're going to be very overlooked with Sovereignty, and then Sandman with the influencer Griffin Johnson, probably taking a lot of money just because of that. He's a nice complexity colt for the Jeremiah Englehart barn. Manny Franco aboard. Broke his maiden in June of last year by 10 lengths. Belmont at the Big 8 and maiden special weight going 5.5 on the dirt. Comes right back to win that Grade 3 Sanford Stakes, going 6 furlongs in the dirt. And gets his 3rd straight win in the Funny Side Stakes, also going 6 furlongs in the dirt. We're in a distant 3rd to my Chancellor McPatrick in the Grade 1 Champagne. And he runs 2nd in the list of Sleepy Hollow Stakes before taking a near 6-month layoff to run 3rd by just half a length in the Gander Stakes at Aqueduct. Now it kind of seems like he's back in winning form. April, he outdueled Faster Gator to take the Bayshore Stake at Aqueduct, going 7 furlongs in the dirt, earning a career best 101. Last time out, he edges clear to win that Grade 3 Ohio Derby by 2 lengths, going mile and 1/8 on the dirt. First time ever going 2 turns, and he wins a Grade 3. I thought it was pretty impressive, so it shows a ton of potential. Never run out of the money in his life. 5 wins a second, 2/3 from 8 starts, 2 for 2 at Saratoga, 1 for 1 at this distance. Ranked 3rd in late pace rating behind Sandman and Sovereignty. And in the past 3 years, Englehart's winning at 29% in all stakes races, 56% of the money with a positive 21% ROI. So Englehart knows how to get him ready. But yeah, I more than likely it's going to be Sovereignty over Moplex. And then I have Sandman in there as well. But I don't know. You know what? I forget. It was Journalism over Gosford. It paid what, $11.50 for that exact?
Really good exact, yeah.
So I mean, we could honestly have a pretty similar situation here. If they're willing to give 4.5 to 1, if that's correct, I mean,
yeah.
I'm going to take.
Don't forget to bet $5 to win on Moplex. I don't want you kicking yourself next week when you say you paid $65 for a $5 bet. You might be pretty unhappy with that. So just plan to blow $5 for me, would you, buddy?
Okay, you know what? I will.
Great. Thank you. Feel better.
Let's go over to Del Mar here on the race lens. How easy it is to go in between races. Let's find this Bing Crosby over here. Or no, excuse me, the San Diego Handicap. We got to go in order. What am I doing, Ellis?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, anyway.
There's going to be, by the way, folks, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. So have some coffee in between. It's going to be a long day on Saturday.
But a great day. Anyway, let's move on. Grade 2 San Diego Handicap, race 8, like Ellis said, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, a mile of 16th on the dirt for 3-year-olds and up. Last year's winner was Dr. Venkman for trainer Mark Glatt with Antonio Frezu aboard. Field of 7. I think we're very similar in thoughts here, but let's hear it. Who do you got on top?
Well, so a couple things about this race. Baffert's got Nisos and Miramati. And Nisos was 1-5 in the Triple Bend last month. Miramati was 1-2, winning an allowance race on his comeback after a short layoff. Baffert, the public, going to be maybe, I haven't seen the line yet. I'm going to guess 3-5 in even money, maybe 4-5 and 6-5. Both not great bets. Now, what's interesting about the race, and we're going to get to something in a second here, is that Midnight, I'm going to ask you to do something I hadn't talked about. Go to number 1, Midnight Mammoth. And you go to Midnight Mammoth and you look at his running lines. Just scroll up just a little bit there. And you'll see he is 2nd and 1st at the 1st and 2nd calls, 1/4.5 miles, last 2 races, both routes, including the Hollywood Gold Cup. He held on for second to Skippy Longstocking in that race. He's got the rail, and Ayuso is going to have no choice than to try and get him on the lead, because his last win, that win in the allowance race on before that, was from just off the pace. And it's not, I'm not going to make you show it, but 2 of his other wins were wire to wire. Now go to number 6, Tarantino. And Tarantino gets Edwin Maldonado. For those who don't know, Edwin Maldonado is one of my favorite jockeys in the world, with Pat Valenzuela, one of the best gate jockeys in history of racing to get a horse in front. Edwin Maldonado, otherwise known as the Candyman, is really good at this. And I'm looking at this horse thinking, well, what happened? Well, they went 46 and 110 in the Hollywood Gold Cup, or the Gold Cup at San Diego, whatever they call it now. And he didn't get the lead. But look back to his best race with Maldonado, which is scroll down a little bit. It's 10:26:24. Point to that. And Maldonado rode him, and he went wire to wire. He relinquished the lead by a half, but he pretty much went wire to wire in that race. And I think that Maldonado knows he has to try. Now, he may not get it, but he has to try. And then now you got to go to Miramati. So Nisos is a stalker. Miramati is no stalker. I mean, that's wire to wire, wire to wire,
that's
wire
straight.
to wire, wire to wire, always.
And
when I look at the, actually, you have it up there. If you look at the Equibase pace figures, Miramati last time was 120. The second pace figure is 112. It's you can see it there. Just 112. The second one, 112. One more over. There you go. And 107 before that. So real quick, switch back to Midnight Mammoth, the one. And I just want to tell folks, this was what went into my decision. Second pace figures last 2 races, 114, 112. And then go to Tarantino and go back to that race where Maldonado rode him to win wire to wire, 100, 103. And then his last race, I think, 110, 3 back, 110, 100. Anyway, these horses are all as fast. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think the strategy for Midnight Mammoth and Tarantino is they only can win on the lead, so they're going to go. That hurts Miramati. It does help Nisos, because when he's come back at 7 furlongs, he was 8th early, and he lost by a neck to Mindframe. That's a fantastic race.
Well, that was one of the greatest races I've seen in the year, that 5-horse finish. Oh,
no, that was just unbelievable. Now let's go to Express Train. So I've never been a fan of this horse, I'll be honest. But I went back and looked, and I had been turned on lifetime PPs. Go back to July 17th, 2021. Yes, and it was 4 years ago. 7/17/21. Oh, look at that.
There it is.
That's this race, the San Diego Handicap.
That's right. That's
and
right.
He stopped in second, and he won by a half a length. And he got a 110 Equibase speed figure, which is better than Miramati's 109. It's better than Midnight Mammoth's 108. It's better than anybody except Nisos 117 last time out. And I think that now we go to the last, I guess the second to last race, San Pasqual, and we're going to look at the video of the San Pasqual Stakes this year. And about 115, I think I told you.
Yeah, it was 115.
Yeah, and then make it full screen for your friend here. Is my bad eyes without those glasses. Okay, so he's going to sit off a 3-horse pace duel here. Well, geez, I wonder if Midnight Mammoth, Miramati, and Tarantino don't cause a 3-horse pace duel in San Diego, similar to the San Pasqual. Now, the only difference with the San Pasqual is Express Train is going to easily go by and make the lead, and he's going to get beat by Katona, who's further back. But this race went in 110 for 6 furlongs, 45 and 4 for a half mile. This one that you're going to see him get the lead and battle and then get beaten. And I think the San Diego is going to go in 45 and 110 easily, maybe even 109 and 4.
Oh, and I can see 109 for sure.
Yeah,
all the speed.
Express Train is going to be 4 or 5 to 1. So I'm going to do the same thing, similar to the thing that I did in the Jim Dandy. Is I'm going to bet Express Train to win, and I'm going to play Exacta Nisos over Express Train, and that's how I'm betting the race. That's it. Very simple.
Okay, you know what? I'm in the same boat. The exact same boat. I know. Okay, first off, I completely forgot to put this on the screen. That's my bad. So there's Ellis going with Express Train over Nisos, and then here we go. Exact same.
Wow.
I know. A
round of applause for Ben right here. A round of applause.
I'm learning. But let me make my case. All right. I'm going with the old man. All right. 8-year-old. He's an 8-year-old Union Rags horse. Some experienced connections of John Shress, Hall of Famer Mike Smith getting the mount. Career 25 starts in his 6-year career, posting 7 wins, 7 seconds, 5 thirds, 3 wins and three wins, a second and a third from 7 starts over the Del Mar dirt. Actually broke his maiden at Del Mar way back in August of 2019. Also won the San Diego Handicap, like you said, in 2021. But he is a different horse now. Has only 5 starts in the past 3 years after he took a nearly 2-year-long layoff after his bid in the Grade 1 Awesome Against Stakes in October of 2022. Didn't come back until April of 2024. So this horse ran against Flightline in the Grade 1 Pacific Classic. I mean, that horse has yearlings on the ground. But anyway, he has yet to win since that layoff. He's been running in some tough races, though, and running well. Finished third last year, San Diego Handicap to Dr. Venkman in Katona. Katona's a very nice horse. Takes a 5-month layoff, finished 4th by 3 lengths in the Grade 2 Lafitte Pincay Junior Stakes in December at Saratoga, and finishes 2nd to Katona in the Grade 2 San Pasqual, like we just saw, running a 107 he got for that. And then comes back to finish 2nd in that Grade 1 Santa Anita Handicap to Locked by 8.5 lengths. But he was second best that day by 3.5 lengths over Hit Show, who went on to win the Grade 1 Dubai World Cup in his next start. So he has yet to run back since that Santa Anita Handicap on March 1st, but obviously based off this pattern, since coming back from that 2-year layoff, they're taking it pretty easy on him, running 3-4 times a year. I just think this horse has a ton of heart, ton of talent, running against some of the best horses in the business. Nysos does look unbelievable in here, but I think it'll be the veteran that takes him down. I think he'll finally get a win, but I will box up Nysos and an Express Train. So I do have Nysos in second. Just fascinating horse, really. Just a beast. And he also overcame a very lengthy layoff, started his career with 3 straight wins, including the Grade 3 Bob Hope Stakes, and the Grade 3 Robert B. Lewis in late 2023, early 2024. Won all 3 of those races by a combined 26 3/4 lengths to start his career. And after a 7.5 length win in that Robert B. Lewis, he takes a 15-month layoff while remaining under Bob Baffer's name, which is rare. Comes back to dead heat for second in that amazing, thrilling 5-horse finish in the Grade 1 Churchill Downs Stakes on Derby Day, which Ellis and I both were there in person. That was really cool. Following that Churchill Downs Stakes, he comes back home to Santa Anita to win that Grade 3 Triple Bend Stakes, last time out by 5.5 lengths, earning a career best 117. Look at that thing. Oh, my goodness. 1 for 1 at Del Mar. He has a 2-turn mile experience in that Robert B. Lewis. So he has that. He is stretching out, for the first time this distance, but ranked first in middle and late pace rating, as you can see there. Ranked first in average speed as well with a 112. That's nuts. 112 average speed. Anyway, Flavian Pratt, oddly enough, is not at Saratoga on Saturday, so he will be aboard Nysos. In the past 3 years, Pratt and Baffert went at 36% in graded stakes races together, 64% of the money, 15 wins from 42 starts. In the past 3 years, they win at 70%. Yes, 70% in graded stakes races at Del Mar. 7 wins from 10 starts, but those were 9 different horses. I'm just like, geez. And they're winning at 43% in all races at Del Mar in the past 3 years, 10 wins from 23 starts. All things point to Nysos.
And they're paying an average of $2.08.
No, you know what? It's actually positive 23% return on investment. $2.46, sir.
Oh.
Off the fly, off the dome.
Baffert, yeah.
I don't know. I almost could kind of see this being like another locked, by 8.5, and then Express Train gets second. But I'll definitely box him up. I don't know. What do you think about Hall of Fame? I put him in for third. I'm kind of interested to hear your thoughts on him.
I didn't have a third horse in the race, as you well know. We discussed this before the hand. Nothing wrong. His 2 races, he took Lasix off, which he has to run without Lasix. He's changing to McCarthy, which is positive. But the Ali Sheba and the Blame, those running lines are not what I like to see. 3-3, 2-4, 4-4, 3-3. He's making up no ground on the stretch. I just think that either those are maybe a little further than he wants to run. It's a mile 16. Maybe he needs to better. His best race ever came when he ran a 1-turn mile at Churchill. And he just doesn't run as well when he has to take Lasix off. So he's not for me, Ben. Sorry.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly probably just going to do that Express Train Nysos box. I might not even mess with anything underneath, but I did kind of like him as my third pick. But anyway, I digress. So Ellis and I both going with an express train. Nisos exact. I'll put Ellis's picks on the bottom of your screen just in case you need to check it out. But we're going to move on. We are going to move on here to the Breeders' Cup winning. You're in Grade 1, Ben Crosby, the 10th race on Saturday's card at Del Mar with a 6:30 p.m. Pacific time post. That is late. But anyway, 6 furlongs on the dirt for 3-year-olds and up. Last year's winner was the Chosen Brawn for trainer J. Eric Kruljack with Hector Barrios aboard. Field of 9 competing for an automatic berth into the Breeders' Cup Sprint later on this year at Del Mar. So who'd you land on in here? I think we're finally different.
So I got news for you in case you can care. And talking about Pratt, go to world record number 5.
Oh, okay.
Pratt's here to ride world record. He's not here to ride Nisos. He's going to ride Nisos because Baffert needs a good jockey, and there's no knock. And Hernandez gets to ride Miramati because I don't know if Pratt had the choice or Baffert asked him, and he said yes. But Pratt's in California taking off an entire day at Saratoga with millions of dollars of purse on the line to ride world record, because this is a win you're in, and this is his Breeders' Cup Sprint horse. If he wins, and if you go up a little bit to the horse's PP lines, like his last 6, just scroll up, you'll see. There you go. Since he put on blinkers, win 3rd, win 2nd. There's 2 more in there somewhere. Oh, win 4th, win 1st, win 2nd. So 5 A races in a row. One kind of clunker in the Jerkins at 7, but at 6, fantastic. All with Pratt. He had the layoff from November, probably with this race in mind, perhaps. Came back and ran in a 3rd level allowance race at Churchill. Got a 111 Equibase speed figure, just drew off in a 6-horse field, comes back, get beat a length by Durante in the Aristides Stakes. Those are just 2 races against older. Pratt rides him really well. I think he's going to run back to that Churchill Downs race and just crush these horses, even though there's a good field here. And there's a lot of speed. So he's got to be sitting probably 3rd maybe, but we'll see. He can close. He showed it last time out coming from off the pace, and he showed it a few races back also when he won last year coming from off the pace. I just think he's a really good horse. I think it's the reason Pratt's here. And Pratt and Brissett, really interesting statistics. You can see it there with jockey. That's for the last 12 months. It's 30% on 43 races. It's 13 wins and then 15 seconds or thirds, which is amazing. It's almost as many seconds.
The Pratt effect, if you will.
The Pratt effect. Well, first of all, Pratt's North American leading jockey right now. He's won 25% of 600 races, which is crazy. Okay, and graded stakes wins up the wazoo. But I will say that, like I said, that wazoo make Ben laugh. But if he's 3 for 7 on this horse, so if you look at Pratt and Brissett absent world record, he's 10 for 36 with Brissett's other horses. I mean, they've got a great thing going, these guys. I think this is our race of the week. So I think that's our stat. That's going to be also the race of the week stat. So anyway, world record top pick for sure. No real knocks. Go down 1 to roll on Big Joe, who beat Dr. Venkman, who last year won, of course, the longer race, the San Diego. This year he's running in a sprint. Roll on Big Joe has also run a bunch of A races in a row. 1-1, 2, 1-1. I mean, everything right. Leperoux, the last 2. Leperoux coming in to ride, certainly because Bob Hess is going to be loyal to him. He won the Palos Verdes by 4 lengths at 6 furlongs at Santa Anita in February, and then last out the Kelly's Landing. He hasn't won higher than a grade 3, but neither has world record. And he's just in top form. He's a very good horse. That 121
world record did get the grade 2 Amsterdam.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Forgot about that. Yep, world record's grade 2 winner. Roland Big Joe did get a 121 Equibase speed figure 1 before last, best in the field, and then regressed a little bit, but he still went easily. Huh?
That's just nuts. 120.
Yeah, that's pretty good for this time of year for sprinters. You usually see them at the end of the year. You see those kind of numbers. And then last is Crazy Mason. So if there's a pace set up, and I know you want to talk about it as well, I'll be brief. His last 2 races are his best ever. 107 and 111 figures. You can see he was 7th after a half mile in both races, and one of them he won by a neck. Before that, he was 5th and won by a neck. He won the grade 2 Carter. So I take back what I said. World record and Crazy Mason have the best graded stakes wins in the field. he got a big workout at Saratoga. Go down to the workout. I was just flabbergasted.
Oh, I know. Yeah, a 1 of
by
98.
A closer working the best of 98 for
Right.
4 furlongs at Saratoga. Crazy. And he's a 4-year-old, so he's still improving. And the horse that beat him last time out in the True North is none other than Bookham Dano, who won the Vanderbilt last week, grade 1. So for me,
as you can see, it'll circle it on Racelands for you.
That's correct.
It'll
Bookham
show
Dano won
who
that
won.
race. 5-6-1. Bookham Dano is a monster right now in the sprint. He's probably the leader in the Breeders' Cup sprint division. So that's for me, 5-6-1. I think this is a really great race. I could make cases for others, but I'm not going to. I think there's some value on Crazy Mason to win, I believe, once the odds come out. And World Record is going to be a key bet for me.
Well, there you go. Ellis digresses with World Record on top of the 6-1. Now, that's a fantastic point about Pratt coming out here for his Breeders' Cup mount. I honestly didn't think about that as much as I should have until now. For me, though, the amount of speed in here, I think World Record and roll on Big Joe.
Put your picks up while you're talking.
Okay, all right. I'll put my picks up. Put my money where my mouth is.
That's right. Go.
And also Hijazi. I think they're just going to kill each other on the front end. And you've got a horse here, the one, Crazy Mason, who has a late pace rating of a 145.
Yep.
That's just wow. So I'm gonna have to go. It's just such an incredibly interesting Cole front, 4-year-old colt, Greg Saccobarn with Chris Elliott, who's a brand new journeyman rider, by the way, coming into riding for his first career mount.
And he rode him previously, which is really good because people got to look back a few races. You'll see the 4th race back. Elliott rode the horse.
Yeah, so he's wanted him before. And like you said, I mean, this just rapidly improving colt. Only had 1 win from 5 starts in his 3-year-old campaign, with his only one coming in allowance optional at Tampa. But in his 4-year-old year, he's just turned on the jets. Starting the year off with 3 straight wins, including that grade 2 Carter Stakes in April at Aqueduct, going 7 furlongs on the dirt. If you watch his races from this past year, it's just insane. He's so far back and then just gains all the momentum. So we're going to have to watch this Carter Stakes because this stretch run is just nuts. Foggy day out there.
Let me point out again, your folks are going to see it as you get to the point you want to watch it. The Haas 44 and 8, which is a little fast. That's like 44 flat at Santa Anita. And if you're right, Ben, if there's a battle here for the lead with Hijazi and some others, I mean, this is going to make Crazy Mace look so good.
Well, yeah, and anyway, so we're not going to start it right here, but the one, that's him. That's Crazy Mason. And he ends up winning this race. It's just nuts. So even at the top of the stretch here, he's still way back there, That's him in the purple. Switches to the outside. All right, this is with Manny Franco aboard. And I mean, just look at that stride. Doesn't look like he's going to get there. And then boom, 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 going. Catching the favorite, Quince Brew, as well. He did need about every single step of that 7 furlongs, and now we're going back down to 6 furlongs. But still, that was just.
I want to interrupt you. Did I ever tell you that when you see a horse like that that's coming way, way, way behind what's actually happening? Have I ever told you that?
You might have, but I think you need to, enlighten.
So a horse like that on dirt that's closing from last is not actually speeding up. He's just slowing down way more than the rest. Yeah. No, I mean, actually, I was looking at the GPS data. He actually shortened up his stride in the past, even though he closed like that. He might run the same miles per hour for the last 1/8 of a mile, but everybody else is just shortening their stride. So he's winning. It does not take away from him one bit, by the way, but.
And that's where that late pace rating can kind of give you a better idea. 145. I mean, to give you perspective, the next highest late pace rating in here is the 7 with a 118.5. So, I mean, it's just, and his speed progression has been fantastic this year. He goes 101 to 100 to 107 in the grade 2 card, and then earned a 111 last time out, to Bookham Dano, who's a beast right now, and Mulligan, who's also very talented. I love Chris Elliott getting his first shot at a grade 1 race out here, his first shot out west Del Mar. And Elliott's done really well in stakes races and apprentice, winning 18% all stakes races all time And Sacco and Elliott went at 20% all time together at all races, 4 wins from 20 starts, but they can find the winner's circle. And like you said, that bullet of a 1 out of 98 for a sprinter at Saratoga, I think he's just going to close into a hot pace. I think he's going to get a really nice price too. They're going to see a couple names that they have no idea who they are out there. So we'll see. Another one I want to talk about was this 3, but it also, kind of scares me with that pace battle. But anyways, a $3.5 million 2-year-old in training purchase by Zaydon Racing for Bob Baffert with Juan Hernandez aboard. Started his career way back in 2022 at Del Mar, finishing second in 2 consecutive maiden special weights, and then they put him in the Grade 1 American Pharoah Stakes as a maiden, actually runs 3rd. Goes back to a maiden special weight. San Diego breaks his maiden by 1 1/4 lengths, running a 106 Equibase speed figure. He runs 4th in the Grade 2 San Felipe at Santa Anita in March of 2023 to Practical Move and Go Rocket Ride, who both went on to win Grade 1s in their next start. He ships to Keeneland for Lafayette Stakes and was just outdueled to finish second by a length, going 7 furlongs on the dirt. Goes back home to Santa Anita, run off an allowance optional, going 6 furlongs on the dirt by 5.5 lengths. He runs second in that Grade 1 Malibu Stakes and gets caught at the wire in the Grade 3 Fred Hooper at Gulfstream, going a mile in the dirt. And he takes an 18-month layoff. Jeez Louise, a whole 1.5 years while staying in Bob Baffert's name, which is unusual. But like we saw with Nyso, as we were just talking about, it's a pretty good sign when he keeps them. Runs an allowance optional at San Diego, going 6 furlong in the dirt last time out. Finishes a very game second by 1/2 length, the 7 in here. That was his first start in a very long time. So I'll give him the excuse. He did earn a career best 110 Equibase speed figure for that runner-up effort. Now second off the long layoff, back where it all started at Del Mar, sprinting on the dirt. Has a win in a second from 2 starts at the 6 furlong distance. Ranked 3rd, light pace rating of a 116. The Bob Baffert stats obviously are going to be crazy. Over the past 3 years, Hernandez and Baffert went at 36% in graded stakes races together. 44 wins from 123 starts. That's crazy. 36% from 123 starts and almost 70% of the money. And then Hernandez also has just been the king of sprint races. Over the past year, he's winning at 33% in all dirt sprints, 63 wins from 193 starts and 69% in the money. So, you know what? I did go with Roll On Big Joe over your world record. I think I might change that now that I'm kind of putting more emphasis on the Breeders' Cup. But honestly, between them on paper, it seemed to be very little different. I mean, Roll On Big Joe, we'll just go over him on Racelands there. True dirt sprinter, all accounts. Robert Hess with Julian Laperoux aboard. Hess and Laperoux, all right, they don't have a ton of starts, but in the past 5 years, they went at 26%, 5 wins from 19 starts, the positive 53% ROI. This horse loves to win and be in the money. Career 7 wins, 6 seconds and a third from 18 starts. Been having a nice 5-year-old campaign, posting 4 wins in a second for 5 starts, with 2 of those wins being in graded stakes races. That 121 we talked about, won that Grade 3 Kelly's Landing Stakes, beating Dr. Venkman, the 2 in here, 6 for 7 lifetime in the money at the 6 furlong distance. That to me, that just shouted, all right, you gotta add him in for 3rd. Yep. But I just think he's gonna get in the speed. I think he has more of a chance of holding firm. Is why I kind of picked him over world record just based off of running lines, but those two are pretty evenly matched in my mind. But once you add the Pratt angle of having a Breeders' Cup mount, that kind of changes things. Well, there you have it. Ellis is going with the 5-6-1, and I'm going with the 1-3-6. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching and continuing to watch for 50 episodes. I can't believe it. So here's the 50 more. Good luck in all your wagers this weekend. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.